I always ask myself, why do I want to do something? Because I don't like to do things because the world is doing it or the society is doing it and I'm doing it. This is my life. It's about me and what I want for myself. My name is Doyin. I'm a psych nurse practitioner. Welcome to Rethink Life with Doyin. So you get to know a little bit about me. So now we're going to get started into the conversation about you, right? To help you discover your business, your vision, your mission, your purpose, and your niche. Right, I'm going to send you some questions, some summaries when I have a little more time at the end. I'll try to put some things together for you, or even probably while we're live, I'll do that. Okay, sound ready?
Sounds
okay.
Good.
So the first one says, write down your talents and skills. Right. So you said I'm a good listener. Okay. Compassionate and you're hardworking. Okay. But now I want you to tell me, what else are you very good at, talent wise? What do you? I don't. This is not about. This is not about you trying to open a business. This is about you in general in life. What are you good at cooking? Is it cleaning? What is it that you're good at? I want to know. Tell me in your honest words. What is it that you know you're good at? Is it putting clothing together, dressing up yourself? Tell me what it is for you. Go ahead. I'm ready.
Like when it comes to my house, I guess like I like to put things
Anything.
together, like my furniture. I like to organize, and my clothes. I like putting clothes together any style. I like doing that. I'm into like fashion, really. But like when it comes to my business, I don't see the connection. Maybe there is a connection. I don't know about.
Don't do the analysis. Leave that to me. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I just need you to answer the question. Don't worry
Okay.
about it. Because
And
if you analyze, you're gonna mess it up. Just answer
okay,
the
no
question
problem. No
based on who
problem.
you are. What if your friend could tell you what are you good at? What is your talent and skills? Just answer the question honestly about you. Because this is the only way it's gonna work. And I know I already see some of your answers. So you're not telling me what I need to hear. I want to
Okay,
hear.
like my friend, my sister, for example, when I go on vacation, we love going on vacation. Uh, they always say, I know how to have fun, how to find a good spot to make everybody have a good time. I'm considerate when it comes to that to make sure that everybody's included with the activities. I'll say, okay, that person want to do ATV, let's do ATV that day, and that person want to do like maybe go do something else. Like I'll make sure that my sister like the museum. Nobody seems to like it, but I try to say like, let's go all go to the museum. She went and do the ATV with us, so I try to make everybody feel at home, like their input is needed, things like that. So I think I'm good at that.
Good.
And
Okay. I like that. So you like cohesiveness. You're someone that likes people putting things together. So cohesiveness is something that I'm hearing so far, correct?
mhm.
Okay, we're gonna come back here. We're gonna come back. Now, what do people say you're good at? You said helping others. Now, the question I'm gonna ask you is people help, right? Helping others, people that are at the restaurants are helping us, people at the hospital are helping us, the janitor is helping us, the banker is helping us. I don't know what that means. What do you mean? What do people say you're good at? You said helping others. I don't know what that is.
I'll find somebody they like from my country. They need help, and I'll say, okay, I'll help you file this paper. This is what you need to do. I remember, like, I have a lot of my cousin. They have family members who came from Haiti. They needed to find a job. I go and help them find a job. I help them get their driver's license and what to do. You know, I translate stuff for them, like. And I don't have to be related to them. So, and people say I like to help others when it comes to that. Like even like when I work, like I was working at the hospital. Even if that person is not my patient, and I'll say like I can help you. Let me know what. I don't ever say that this is not my patient. Go see your nurse. I'm always willing to assist. I say like even if you're on the street, I will assist you. It's not because I'm getting paid for it. I think it's just in my nature to do so.
I love that. So I want to ask you a little bit more. I love that. So now when you and I wrote some information down. I see where you're helping, and I love it. And it's beautiful. And it's not about me loving it. I don't have to love it. Okay. But I love what you're saying. But when you're saying helping others, right? So I'm gonna ask you something. When you say helping others, where do you see yourself?
Oh no, it can be a different setting. Like, it can be at work, it can be at
Think
home, it
about it.
can be
Think about it. I know. I know it's anywhere. But what was the first thing you saw? Are you in an
not
office? Or are you outside? Are you in your house?
sometimes I'm outside, sometimes
No.
I'm at work.
Envision in your mind. Where are you? Envision in your mind. You said helping others. What do people say you're good at? You said helping others. Where are you? Are you on the phone talking to your friends? Where are you?
Yeah, I can be on the phone talking to people, like a different setting.
I know. But thinking about the question. I know what you're saying, but just hold on and think. The first thing that comes to your mind, where are you?
At home.
At home. Okay. And
Okay.
where are you at home?
At home, people reaching out to me say like such and such need help.
Are you sitting down or are you standing up? Are you in the office? Where are you?
I can be. I'm just laying in
Are
my
you,
bed
you
trying
in
to
your
get
bed?
some rest, and then
Do you
somebody's
have
telling
do
me
you have
about
a
their
computer?
phone.
You have a computer in front of you?
I don't have a computer right now.
No. Do you have a computer in front of you in the
No.
whatever you're imagining?
Oh no.
Okay.
I'm just laying down in my bed,
You're
and then
laying
I
down
got
in your
that
bed on
phone
the
call.
phone talking.
hmm
Okay. Thank you. At home talking. Got it?
hmm
Sounds good. So you're helping people having a conversation. Now, how do you help these people that you have in a conversation with? You're doing some research on the computer, or what are you doing to get information? Or is it just your mind thinking about it?
I think I'm gonna call some people who might know about some job and see how they can help you. I'm not too sure if that person will find a job for you, but
So
I'll
you're reaching
definitely
out.
tell. I'll call some
You're reaching
people.
out.
Yes,
You're
I'm
reaching
reaching
out. Gotcha. Thank you. All right. That's it. That's all I need to know. Perfect. So, what do people say you're good at, right? You said helping others.
out.
So, what I wrote down some things, right, is organization, getting information, research, right? Getting some kind of information, talking, reaching out. You're someone that is you got to get the information. That's what it is, right? So, whatever it is, you know, your brain somehow is able to expand to be able to provide that information. Sounds good to you
Yeah.
so far? Okay, good.
Mhm.
Now, what do you know you're good at? You said, once I understand something, I tend to excel in it. In return, I became good at explaining things. Okay. I'm good at inspiring others because I know how it feels to be at the lowest point and needs to find hope. Okay, very good. So, this is what you're good at. So, you're good at, you know how to, what's what I'm looking for? Empathize, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. So you can empathize with also you can feel their pain, right? And you said I once I understand something, I tend to excel in it. In return, I became good at explaining things. So empathize and also, verbalize, right? Verbalize something. Okay? Sounds
Mhm.
good? Is there
Yeah.
anything else you want to add there? You don't have to. Is there anything else you
No,
want to add?
like I said, like I think like one side, and I like to. I'm committed. Like when I set my mind to do something, I'm committed and I'm willing to do the work behind it.
So you said this part. What are your life desires? Describe that, right? Oh, I love this. And you said to find balance. Oh, that's beautiful. To live life the way life intended to its fullest. Do things I enjoy doing. Have positive impact on others. I want to find my purpose, living my dream, and becoming my vision. That's beautiful, right? Now, that's beautiful. That's right. But the question I'm going to ask you, I'm going to give you a little more question. So what I hear you say is life balance, life work balance,
Yes,
right? Okay.
like balance. I mean, like
And you
like
want
I
to enjoy.
said,
You
I
feel like you
was
want to enjoy life.
enjoying life too because I was missing out. I really felt like I was missing out, and work became my center. Like I will chill, and then they will call me, and then they say, "Do you want to work?" I'll say, like, "What am I doing? Like, I'm chilling, not doing anything. I better take myself to work." What kind of thinking is this? What kind of thinking that I'm relaxing, doing nothing, watching a show that I feel like it's a waste of my time doing so that I have to take myself to work? Huh? Like that's the slave mentality. And I say,
It
like,
is.
oh, that's
It
not good.
is.
And I
I,
was
you
doing
know,
it constantly.
I think I can count amount of time, number of times I work, except for like when I did managerial nursing later on as I proceeded. But I can count how many times I did overtime. I don't. My mom never did overtime. I
I
don't.
did a lot of overtime.
I
And they
don't know
want
how.
they know me. They know me. I was the overtime machine. Like everybody who need days work, oh call Carmel. Like everybody knows they have to come to me because I always pick up. And
You pick
if
up.
I'm not at work, they know something is wrong.
Oh
You
my
must be
god.
really sick. Can you imagine one day, and I'm not making this up. I was so sick, okay? I didn't know I was so sick. I wasn't taking care of myself, but I was severely anemic, okay? One time at that job I
Hmm.
was going to, you get bonuses, okay? Like
Hmm.
if you pick up a shift, you get 200, 200. You can
Yes.
accumulate a lot. But
Yes.
they tell you for that week, you cannot call out. If you call out, you will forfeit your whole
Oh,
bonuses.
goodness, yeah.
Can you imagine? I already put three bonuses in, and I was so sick. I felt so dizzy, and I didn't want to call out. My mom saw me say, "You don't feel well." I said, "I have to go to work. I have to go to work," because I was thinking about my bonus. I opened the door to step out. I couldn't make it. I couldn't make it. I had to call my friend and say, like, "Can you let them know that I cannot make it?" Say, "You better take care of yourself. You better take care of yourself because we're gonna still be there." Can you imagine that day they admitted me? They had to send me to the ICU. My hemoglobin was so low, I needed a blood transfusion, and they were looking at me. They say they don't even know how I was like walking like that. Like they couldn't believe it. I was so low that they had to admitted me to the ICU. That's how bad it was,
Oh,
and that
dang.
was a waking call for me. I said, like, I know I wasn't feeling well, but I was willing to push myself to go to work so I don't lose on that bonus. Like, what
Oh
kind of
my
nonsense is this?
God.
Like,
Yo.
I said, like, and then I said, like, so I could have been driving on the road and then
Um,
get into an
yeah.
accident if that was the case. Like, it's God bended me over. I was like, I opened the door trying to get. I couldn't walk anymore.
Oh my
God
God.
saw that. They said, like, you're not
Yes.
gonna get out. You're not gonna get out, and I didn't make it. And
Woo.
I had to call. Like, I had to call my cousin. My cousin took me to the hospital, and they said they had to admit me to the ICU because I need the blood transfusion. That I couldn't just. They couldn't give me IV anything. Like, I need a blood transfusion.
Oh my God. What? Wow. Woo, I'm so glad for your life. I'm glad that you're here. Oh my God. But it's so crazy, right? We all have to wait till like, literally, it's so sad, right? And it's not our fault.
Yeah, and I'm a
Even
nurse, and
myself, I
I
know.
tell people, take care of yourself. Like, I say, value your health. Can you imagine? Like, how do you like? I
You know,
didn't need to
it's,
my own advice.
yeah. And it's crazy thing is like, and this is one of the things that I'm trying to wake people up, right? Because it's like, unfortunately, it isn't until we reach the rock bottom
Yeah,
then we wake up.
yeah,
But it's like you don't have to, because the rock bottom, some people never like that rock bottom. They rock somewhere else, a
yeah,
different universe.
yeah.
And we don't, and I felt so like moved through my journey. Like I was just like, why do people like our age, we're young, and people are like dying by suicide up and down, you know and it's like, I'm like, that was their rock bottom. They were
Mm-hmm.
at an all-time low, and it's a whoop, the opposite side. Some people don't wake up, they don't sometimes they feel like, because once you're in that cloud and you just feel like you can't see anything, it's very hard to see the light.
Mm-hmm.
You just see doom and nothing else. And it's like, I was just like, yo, like I had to be, I was like, I can't live this way. I was like, I can't see myself living this way for the rest of my life. I'm like, this is not life. This is not living. I'm like, I don't care. You can't tell me that whoever created me brought me here to come live in life, to be suffering like this. Even though I was making money. But at the point, I'm like, I don't give a damn about this money. I don't even care. I don't care. I left my job. I quit. I'm like, I'm done. I don't care if I'm homeless. I'm like, in a way, I kind of give God things that I know I have my parents, but literally, I was just like, whatever it takes, I don't give. Like, I really don't care. I left. Oh, I left. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And then this is how it like, and I was just like, I've always heard people leave, people that say they make it and they become something different. They leave their job. I'm sure you've heard of stories. People say, oh, I left my job and I just quit, and I decided to go do something else. And I was just like, if that's gonna be my story, we're gonna figure it out. And who knew, through that journey, I got to go to different hospitals, see how they do things. And I was just like, oh, this is bad. And I knew there are only two hospitals in New Jersey that I worked. Sometimes I drove 70 miles away. Only two hospitals that I found. I never, yeah, during school, there were only two hospitals that I found that I would say they actually do a better job. Most hospitals, I was like, hell no. Hell no. I would never bring my family here.
Yeah, I know.
You know, only 2 hospitals in New Jersey that I went. I went to probably over 40 hospitals, nursing homes, a lot of, rehab, whatever. Only 2 hospitals that I went to. Two that were okay. And I was like, they're doing a good job here. But anyway, God help us. Nursing, uh,
Mhm.
it's something else. But I'm glad we're here
Yeah.
because I'm just glad. So, what are your I like that. So you said life. Pretty much, I hear you say life, work balance, enjoy life. Now let's go back here. I'm gonna come back to that. So your life desires, I really love that, and enjoying life. That's what I got from that. Now reflect and think about how you use your 5 senses. Oh yeah, and which part of the senses you enjoy the most, and the two other you like. You said I enjoy the most my sight, and by sight I also mean by discernment. When you say discernment, that's more of a spirit guide. So when you say sight, so you're saying you like visually, you're a visual
Yeah,
person.
visual.
You
And
know what
then
I mean?
also like people will say like when I say discernment, I can feel people, like meaning like
Yeah,
I can
energy.
some, yeah. So people always say like, what do you mean? I say like I like to observe people and then I watch you and I have that sense what kind of person you are. And most of the time I'm right. You understand? I'm not saying that I'm a fortune teller. I can read people. My sister actually said, "Oh, it's funny and it's true story too." And she always say like, "Oh, that guy is talking to me. I know you like to read people." I said, "I never told you I know how to read people." And you're a
Ooh,
psychologist. I said, I'm not that. Like I
that's
said,
good.
uh, but I like to observe people, and then
You know
most
what
of
it
the
is?
time I'm right. And then it's funny. One time
Mm,
she even had the audacity of sending me pictures, and then say, "Oh, this is why he likes," and "Oh, can you tell me?" I said, "Like you trying to make me a fortune teller? I am not a fortune teller, but based on what I noticed of him, it looked like he used to drink. He used to." I said, and then he called me back. She called me back and said, like, whoa, whoa. You were right on point about the drinking. You were right on point about how did you know that? I said, like, I
hmm.
just observed, like, based on what you said. And then I went and looked and I said, like, yeah, that's the kind of idea. That's the general pictures that he gave off. And then I said,
I
like,
know what you're saying. I know
mhm,
what you're saying. You know what's funny? I know exactly. A client of mine gave me a beautiful compliment.
mhm,
I know exactly what you're saying because I'm just like you. The word is perceptive.
yeah,
Perceptive, and I'm also going to add intuitive.
yeah,
So you're someone that literally, right? You have an inner eye.
mm-hmm,
That's what it is. You see what people say, and you also see what they don't. I'm the
yeah.
same way, and
And
so
I
that's
told
a
people,
gift.
I observe
That's a
you.
gift.
I just like
That's
to
a gift.
observe. I observe.
Yeah, but it's not just about observing. You can see right through them,
Mm-hmm. And then
even
I
when they're
observe, I
talking
watch
to
to
you.
make sure what I thought of you, and then it always turned out to be true. And
I know.
and that's one of the reason why my sister said, "Oh, why are you single? Why?" I said, "I can see through them. Their
You can
face.
see. Yes, some people are like, I'm the same way as you. It's
I'm
a
not gonna
gift,
waste my
actually.
time." I said, "I'm not gonna
It's
waste
a
my
gift.
time. Waste my time for what?" So being with the one person,
But
like when I know what I'm saying, I said, I can. They cannot even
I
fake
can't be
me
that.
good enough for me not to sense it. I can sense it.
I know what you mean. I know exactly. It's a gift. That's actually a gift. Just understand that. And you're gonna need that a lot in your practice too. And that's something that I do that. My sister is also the same way. My older sister, she's the same way. She's very perceptive and we're very intuitive. When I'm talking to people, I hear you, but I can also hear what you're not saying.
Yeah.
And I can see, I see what you're not saying, and I can tell you what you're not saying. And when I talk to people, they're like, "Yeah, yeah." And
Mhm,
it,
yeah. So how did
so
you know? I said,
like, how do you know? And the thing is like, I'm so because the thing is like, and what really also helped me through my journey, like when I was working in the home care, it helped me big time because I got to really like when I was became a DON, director of nursing eventually. That was something you would a patient would tell me, "Oh, this person, I don't like them," but I knew why you don't like them.
mm-hmm.
It wasn't about the patient or the provider or the nurse. It was something about you, and I would tell them that. And the person I used to work for was like, dang, like he was like, you're naturally good at this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I was like, yeah, I like to dress up. I like to
Yeah.
I like that whole, so yes, that's perceptive and you having an inner eye. So some people, it's a talent. It's a
Mhm.
beautiful talent. And you must stick by that. You have to lean within. Because that is what is that's gonna it wanna steer you wrong.
Mhm.
You're gonna need that in your business, okay? Keep that in mind. Beautiful. Now let's go here. So visual and also listening. I hear that. So let's come back to this area, right? Or I'm gonna come back to the top. So you also said touch and hearing. Okay, very good. So these are the two other ones. Write down what qualities you have enjoyed in the jobs or careers you did like. You say you love to work with children, right? You like working with children at one job, and they were also able to be comfortable and open to you. That's beautiful. I guess being friendly and a good listener helped me connect with them. So you really loved working with children. Beautiful. So children work. I'm gonna come back to that area. Okay, stand by. Now let's go forward a little bit. I've not done the part that I want to do yet. I'm going to be doing an analysis. Going to come back to the things you said. Write down what qualities you have not enjoyed, right, or liked in the job you once did, or you're doing, or you just don't like. I don't like a job. Like I don't like the one job because they didn't care about patients' care. I saw the greed and lack of compassion of others, and I quit the job almost. So you don't like you did say you're compassionate, so no compassion, right? Put in the patient's life last instead of them that first. Correct?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah.
Write down what you want your life to look like. Okay, you want to be happy, fulfilled, content, and purposeful. Okay, so now I don't know what that you know, right? What happy means to you. I don't know what happy means to you because happy means to me something different, right? Fulfilled, content, and purposeful. Describe what you want your daily life to look like. You said, I want my day to not be monotonous. I want to be eager to wake up in the morning and be excited on how the day is going to unfold, not wanting the day to be over. Okay, sounds good. Interesting. Very good. So now I'm going to ask you this detailed question because you need to describe to me what that looks like. I don't know what that looks like. The words you're saying are just very, very, very
Vague.
they're not giving me details as to what you're talking about. So what does that mean? What do you want your daily life to look like? I want to wake up 9 o'clock in the morning. I want to go to the gym. I want to work. What does it look like to you? Tell me what your dream life would be like. If you could have things your way, what life do you want to live? That's what I'm asking you.
Oh, I don't want to set an alarm. I don't want to set an alarm to wake up. So that means I'm pushing myself to wake up. I wake up because guess what? Like it's time for me to wake up, okay? And then I say, okay, what should I do about the day? Like look something for exciting to do. Like if I want to go to work, I can go to work. If I want to go and chill with my friends, I chill with my friends. Not having to worry about like my bills. I have to go to work like this and that. Like I don't. That would be my dream work. Like when I feel like working, I work. I work because I want to. It's not because I have a need to. I know
Okay.
at the beginning of my business, I have to put the time in, but as I go along further down the line, I want my business to be able to work independently where I don't have to be running it constantly because what would be the point that I become a slave of that work now, that business I have? I don't want that for myself either. So I want at
Mm,
some point at the beginning, I know I have
mm,
some investment to do, some work to do, and it might take 16 hours of my day sometimes. I understand that. But as you get better, I know I want more time for myself. I want to be able to say, you know what? I'm going to get up and go on a vacation, a prompt vacation like that, impromptu vacation. I never done
mm,
that before
mm,
because I
mm,
never been able to afford it. You
mm,
understand? I want to get up and leave this week and say, I want to go to Cancun or Mexico. I saw a deal online. I want to get up and leave. I don't have
mm.
kids. I don't see why that should stop me. I'm not married, so why should that stop me?
Eh,
You understand? So,
I
and
understand.
I'm not planning to. So I want to be able to do those things.
And it's so interesting hearing you say that, right? Because a lot of people, you know, and like for me, like I hope to get married one day, right? I'm not married yet. I don't have children, but I used to. I one point in my life, I was asking myself questions like, why do I want to get married? Like, why? Why would I? I don't want to do. Like, I'm a type of person. Always ask myself, why do I want to do something? Because I don't like to do things because the world is doing it or the society is doing it and I'm doing it.
Mhm.
I need to know what it means for me. This is my life. And I'm not directing my life based on others. It's about me and what I want for myself. And once I discovered what it is for me, and I'm like, okay. Then when I find a person that does that for me, and I do. Anyway, so right,
Good.
and I have that. But I'm like, when I find that for me, then I do that. But I did right through the journey of asking why do I want to do something, and I'm
You
very
have kids?
oh
Do you
no,
have kids?
I don't have kids. So, but while I was asking myself why do I want to do something, I lost friends along the way because they're very more about the world does it and that's why you should do it. And I'm like, I don't care what the world does.
I
I
don't
do me.
care.
Like I don't
Yeah,
care
it's my life. What
about
I
that.
want to do about
This
my
is what
life.
I want to do. And it's like I wasn't imposing my own ideologies. I was really just asking questions. I'm not telling you what you're doing is wrong, but sometimes when
Mhm.
you express yourself to some people or you express yourself to friends or whatever that is, they may take it as, oh, she's trying to push her idea. I'm like, no, I'm really just asking why because I'm trying to understand. So,
Mhm.
but along the way, and I'm glad. So, and so hearing you say that, right? And either way, whatever it is for you, whatever it is, whenever you feel or you think this is whatever it is for you, you go ahead and do that. But I understand you. But that's what I'm trying to say. I understand your vision. I understand why you're like, you know what? I'm not married. I don't have children. And at this time, that's not my vision at this time. So I get that 100%. So, and whatever that is for you, right? You go ahead and work at it. So that's a beautiful thing. But some people want to impose their ideas on others. This is your life. This
Mhm.
is my life. You live your life and I live my life. You
People
know?
asking me, "What about your mom? Doesn't she have? Doesn't she want grandchildren?" Okay, that's what she wants,
What?
and thank God she have two other kids, and with she have grandchildren. That's good for
Exactly.
her. But like, why
Exactly.
should I sacrifice myself but somebody else wants? No, I cannot do that.
Literally, I totally understand, and I get you 100%. And it's so crazy because this is one of the reasons I also have Rethink because people don't understand. People like the society puts their own idea and framework on what women should be and how they should be and all this stuff. But we are individuals. Everybody has their own mindset. People impose their ideas on others, but people like some people are children. They have children and they're the worst mother alive. Some
Mhm.
people have kids and they're the best mother alive. But it
Yeah,
is like point is whatever reason you decide to do something, you should ask yourself, why do you ever want to venture into that?
yeah.
Because if you don't ask yourself those questions, you're gonna make somebody else like those children.
Unhappy.
You're gonna neglect them. Now you create more problems for their life, and they can wake up and say, you know what, I don't want to have no children because I saw the way my mother treated me when I was younger. Like,
Exactly.
or I want to have children because blah 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 because Tyrone doesn't love me. Nothing against Tyrone. But you get the idea, right? So it's very important because a lot of mental health issues really stem from like the way we are raised as
Mhm.
well. Not just environment. So and also the family we live in and all that stuff. So you get the idea, right? So this
Yeah.
is good. So now let me go back to here, right? So describe what you want your daily life to look like. So I hear you, right? And I see where you're going, and I'm going to come back to that area. So before you get this idea of the dream life you want, right? So now let's talk about what you want your the daily life to look like as a worker. Why because you're going to get what you described to me is the future. But
Mhm.
now tell me what you want your daily life to look like working
Working.
in your business. What do
For
you
my
see yourself?
business, I can see myself getting to work at 8 o'clock, maybe finishing up around 6 or 7 p.m. and give like I have enough time to just relax. You know, get ready. Not get ready actually. Just relax, watch a TV show, enjoy my evening, and start the day again. Like work 5 days a week or 6 days a week. But I don't want to work 7 days a week because, like I say, my work life was crazy. Like 80
Mm,
hours a week, 70 hours a week, 7 days a week. I cannot do this anymore. I cannot do
I,
this. I'm
I
tired of it.
can't. The only time I've worked the longest in my life is working as a business owner. As a nurse, I think even when I was in school, the highest I ever worked, except for like when I worked in insurance, because I worked in insurance nursing, then I worked full time. But that I worked like longer. Well, as a nurse in the bedside, I couldn't do through 36 hours. I could
One
not.
day they called me in the office. You know why HR called me in the office?
You work too much?
I worked too many hours. They needed me to not work that many
Wow.
hours. One day, like they called me in
Oh
the
my
office.
God.
They say it's only like being 5 days. You already work 90 hours. You
Oh
cannot.
my
I see
God.
that you stand up for overtime. You cannot work them.
Oh
They say
my
like
God. What field
sick
were you,
leave.
what area were you working? What area of nursing?
No. That the one day that would become before I become a nurse, they told me that I
Oh,
was working as a tech. They told me I
gotcha.
cannot do that. And then another time when I was a nurse, they say like, you working a lot of hours. Are you okay? Like this and that. Like, yeah, I worked so many hours. It
Okay.
was like I was doing like five doubles in a row and then still going at it. They say like, where do you have that energy? I say like that's why I was trying to tell you when I'm home. I felt like I don't have anything to do. Why should I waste my time
Mm,
sleeping or watching a show and relax? And then they called me and I said, oh, I might as
mm.
well go to work because I felt like that's the only way I was being productive. And when my friend would ask me, you want to go someplace? I said, nope, I have to work. And they never asked me again because they said, you're always working anyway.
I don't,
I'm
I don't
not
blame them.
gonna ask you to go anywhere because you
No.
barely have time. And I said, just tell me
Wow.
that in advance, way in advance. But they say like sometimes they don't even know way in advance. So
Even when they tell
yeah,
you in advance, you're going to choose work. Wow, that's
yeah,
interesting.
they know it. They know
Wow.
it.
Nursing must have been your thing. For me, I could, girl, I couldn't even
No,
work
I like
36
the
hours.
money. I like the money. It's
Oh,
the money. When I
but
saw
the
the
thing,
money I was banking, I
but
was
hold
saying,
up.
okay, work equal money. More work equal more money.
No, for me, it was like you work so much more, you pay all that to taxes. Why
Yeah.
would I want to
So
do that?
that's why it hit me in the butt. Every year I don't have kids, I don't have stuff. My taxes will be like 40K and plus. And
Oh my
then I still owe them on top of it. And
God.
can you imagine
Yeah.
how frustrated I became when I see how much
Yes.
taxes I was paying? And I say, okay. And people say, did you realize that all that overtime you were putting in, it's just like you and they're wasting your time because you paying that money you were making, you're giving it off of taxes and you didn't sleep. And I said, you're right. And then
Oh
if
my
I
God.
if that was the only thing, is after I got hit after taxes and saying that I owe them more. I said, how I owe them more? Did you
Oh,
realize that I did not sleep? Do you ever ask me how's my day been? Like things like that. I said, like I got like so like I said that one day, like I told you, like I couldn't make it to work. I ended up in the
yes.
ICU. You know, like I made a lot of sacrifices to make that bread, and then later on you tell him that like you need more, more, more. I said that's greed right there. I said no, I don't want to do that.
Woo. Wow. I wish you had them. I knew from the get-go. You're working too much, you're paying all that back to taxes, right? It's beautiful when you own a business. That's different. Because when you open a business and you have so much client, like that benefits you actually. It benefits you when you
Yeah,
work a lot.
because
And you
people always like since I remember first year I become a nurse. I remember I become a nurse probably in almost the mid of the year. That was my lowest income, 85,000. Since
hey,
then, I always hit 200K,
hey, Jesus.
200K as a nurse. And
Ah,
I say like
I
in,
never
I
made that
said
much
people
like that.
ask me how I make 200K. I say I make 200K by working my ass off. You know, like when
Yes.
they say like they're trying to calculate to see how is it possible that I
Wow.
make that money. I say like I do make that money with bonuses at my other job. My other job, like I say, I don't sleep most of the time. I calculate my money. I don't sleep, and they say,
Are you
"Oh, what do you do
kidding
with all that money?" I said like I waste it. I waste a lot of it. You know, like they say, you can see I love buying clothes. I was wasting my money buying clothes. And they say, but you don't even have time to wear them.
So hold up. Your house, your apartment or your house is there, living over, just staying there. You working, you spend all.
Yeah, I wasted my money so much.
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. For me, I never made that much as a nurse, Well, my one number one, bedside was like me. And this is part of the questions that I ask you because I realized for me, right? I've had a conversation with someone before, and for me, like I'm not someone that when I envision myself in my business, the jobs that I did eventually love. These are the questions I ask you. Those questions, right? For me, I don't like to be on my feet 24/7. No, I want to get up. I want to walk, but I want to sit down. I like to look good. I like to dress up. I like to wear heels. So someone like me working in nursing, that was not the right place. I have to be in a managerial role because it gives me that. So I did a lot of managerial roles. And then as I went back into my life to rethink, right? And think back and say, okay, why did I like that job? Why did I hate that job? I was able to understand, right? What area, when it comes to my business, who am I? What do I love? Why do I love the jobs that I love? Why do I hate the jobs that I hate? That is why I'm asking you those questions. And this is a question that I ask myself. If I went to medical school, I may have not had the opportunity to choose what I want for myself.
Mhm.
But when I did my own questionnaire, the only thing that made sense, was psychiatry. And you're going to discover that for yourself shortly. Okay. So, and this is what I help people discover because people sometimes don't like to be on their feet. Some people like to sit down. So when you think about where are you in your business? What are you doing? What are you really doing? When you say you want to work, that's what I've seen clients. It's so crazy because I talk to patients every day. And I'm looking at you and you're working that job, but you are someone that you like fidgety with your hands. You like to be using your hands. So guess what? The job didn't allow you to use your hands. You were on your feet. So you hated the job because you didn't use your hands. You were using your feet. So of course you're never gonna be happy because your gifting is in your hands, not your feet. This is very important. This is what I talk about niche. This is why I say you must discover your niche.
Yeah.
Little things. So and you're so crazy because then they'll come and they're anxious and everything. Somebody else, they will do so miraculously well when they're talking. Somebody else don't want to talk.
But you
They
know
just want
what?
to
I realized about my job, even though a lot of them I didn't like, I realized that what I don't want for myself. Because a lot of time we don't know what we don't want. And I said like being there, I don't want that for myself. You know,
that's
I'm
the
not totally sure about what exactly I want, but I know what I don't want now. You understand?
wisdom. When you know what you don't want, that lies wisdom. And I tell people, I spoke to someone client before. I said, even if you don't know anything, know what you don't want. When you know what you don't want, then that's the beginning of wisdom. We're almost there. Okay? Because then you get understanding eventually. That's what I told when I told you. I said nursing taught me what I don't want. Isn't that what I told you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's exactly what it is. And because I knew what I don't want, that's why I know what I want now. Nursing taught me what I don't want.
Yeah, it's been a long journey, but I'm
For me,
grateful.
I'm
Yeah, I'm
glad.
grateful. I'm
Yeah,
glad because, like I
I'm
said,
glad.
I'm discovering myself, and then, like I said, like a lot of people don't know. Definitely, sometimes you have an idea, you think that's what you want. Later on, you realize that that's not what I expected. It, like that's not the desired outcome, and then you go look for new goals. So
I
I went
knew.
with a blank mind, like I don't know what I want, and then later on, I discover what I want.
Yes.
Like
And I knew later on, I used to tell people, I'm like, I didn't like nursing. And I knew why. I realized I love to care for people. I do. I will take care of you. And I love and I enjoy it. But the thing that I missed the most later on, it was late after maybe a year or two. I was already a nurse practitioner. Then I realized why I didn't like nursing like that. I care for people and I love to care for people. I will pour into you and I had awards and everything. Don't get it wrong. I did. But what
I,
I
I
want,
love nursing. I cannot say
oh,
that.
I will tell you. Oh, no, I will tell you what I love. I'll tell you. When it came to nursing, I realized what I don't love the management.
Yes,
That was
yes.
my problem.
I say like, I say like, and then the thing
Hold up.
is, some of the job I used to work, I say the management, they sit wherever they're sitting from up there, and then they come with that good idea, thinking about like, oh, I don't know how they came up with it. I don't know if they
Yeah,
fought it out. I think it was a fight because
e-
guys say like, okay, you didn't even ask us about any input and how to implement it,
exactly.
and then you came up with those new rules. And I say like, you think I say, but you don't have
It doesn't
direct
work.
patient to patient. You're not the one
Yes,
using that platform. You're not, and then
exactly.
like you expect us to say this is it and apply it.
Yes.
Like I said, like wouldn't that be better that you ask people for their input and output? And
Thank
one of
you.
them, I said, like, do you know how to work this? I said, no, you don't. Okay. You don't you think as like if you occupy a supervisor role, or you a manager, you should know how to work it, because that means that you're in a position where you can help me, assist me, that you reach a level that you're able to guide me. So you don't know how to use the system, you don't know how to do that, but you want to implement new things that you should know about. I said, like, it doesn't make sense to me. It
You
doesn't make
get it.
sense.
You get it. And that's what, so I, and then, you know why? You know what's funny? You know why? Because my gifting is in management.
Yeah.
So I saw what I don't want, and I saw what I don't want to be like.
Yeah.
I
And
with what I when I envision myself in my business, I see myself as a manager, managing something.
yeah.
That's what I see. Even though I know my medications and I want to teach and I want everything, but I see myself as a like managing, teaching, whatever. So
Yeah.
one of
A
the reasons
leader.
so exactly, you get the idea, right? So
Mhm.
one of the things nursing taught me is not that I hate. No, I don't hate all of nursing. I love to care for my patients. I told you I get awards for those things. I when my patient. Well, the thing is, another thing I also missed the most with nursing was the connection that I had with my clients. I never had that until when I was working in insurance. Everybody has what it is. Everybody has what it is that they determine or they say is like nursing. Like you said earlier, you must determine what success is for you. You must also determine what it is. When you said nursing, what is nursing? Just like you said helping others, and I asked you, what does that mean? I love to care for people and I would love to listen. But the thing is, I later realized that connection, talking to people, that was what was missing for me in nursing. I want to connect to my client. I want to talk to my patients. I want to feel your pain and I want to empathize with you. I don't just want to pass medication like a
Yeah.
robot. Anybody else can do that.
Hmm.
I want to listen. I want to hear your story. What brought you here? How did you get here? And what can I do to make it better? Nursing never allowed me to do that. So I missed that. So a lot of places that I worked. So when I worked in insurance, I was in their home now. Even when I did home care, it was a different type. But when I was in the nursing, when I was in insurance, I was now the manager. I was asking questions and I was getting to know, understand why you got here, how you got here. I enjoy that field. I really love that field. But I realized that the amount of work, like it was like, yo, the amount of work we have to do just to do this is too much work. Okay. Because I was care managing. And my patients really like they gave me awards for those things. But I'm grateful. But I think that's what I'm saying to you. It taught me what I want and also what I don't want. And when I look back into my life, everything made sense as to why I'm here now and doing what I do.
I then when you say that patient connection, I don't want to just be the person passing med. I remember one experience I have at a hospital. I work in mental health. Okay, so
Yes.
and then I work in mental health and addiction. So a lot of people came here. Like sometimes they have comorbidities, they have like medical issues, they have like psych issues. But if you have a medical issue and it's very serious, your medical will supersede your mental. They have to discharge you so you can take care of your medical aspect, the medical aspect of it. And
Hmm.
that person, like, I saw him, and I said, no, you cannot be here. And he was like, he came in for alcohol. You can see very jaundiced. He was not feeling well, and he
Hmm.
wasn't taking care of himself. He was supposed to get his blood, like he has a blood disorder where he has to keep on cleaning it. It's not dialysis. It's the different kind of
Mm.
stuff, and the
Mhm,
drinking was
mhm,
not doing too good. So I say, like, let me tell you, you have to check yourself out. This is not the place for you. Okay, it's good that
mhm,
you want to stay sober and you want to get help, but you need to stay alive in order for you to take care of
mhm,
yourself. When you're more
mhm,
stable, then you come back to us. We'll be here. But right now,
mhm,
you need to go ahead and take care of yourself. And then I
mhm,
told the other nurses, I said that person needs to be out because I work night shift and day shift. That's when the doctors are around. I say, make sure that that patient is sent out. That patient cannot stay here. I don't even know
mm,
how they get him to be admitted. If I come back here, that patient is here. I would not take that patient. I would not take that patient. That
mhm,
patient. I said, tell them you have to be discharged. I don't know when I came back, and then the other nurse too, very compassionate and very like she's the type of person that people have issue working with, but she knows her stuff and she care
mm.
about her patient. She doesn't have staff relationship, but I liked her just because of that, because I know she would get the work done. She will make sure
Yes.
the doc. So I
Yes.
like her because of that, and she makes sure the patient was out. And I got word like maybe like less than a week later, the patient died. And I
Oh.
said, I was sad. I was saddened by it at the same time. And I said to myself, it's being kin, like seeing things like that. And I say to myself, having that connection, hearing the patient out was the reason why you're here. And then try to, I didn't say, okay, we'll help you. I said like, I want to be able to give you the type of help that you need. I know the reason why you're here, but
Yes.
listen, you have another thing that needs to be taken care of. Take care of your life first. You
Y-
understand? Like, you need
Yes.
to be
Mm.
physically fit to stay here. You know, he wanted to do that, but it was a little bit too late.
Hmm.
You understand? Like, and then I
Yeah.
could tell. I said, every single time, like when they come here, that's why every time when I do my new intake, and I was the one who did intake, I like to listen
Mhm.
to my patient. Tell me what brought you, what's the reason,
Yes.
because a lot of times they
Yes.
say okay, some superficial reason why they're here, but when you
Yes.
ask,
Yes.
keep asking question, you realize the real reason why they're here. They didn't tell you. You understand? So yeah, I can see that's one
Exactly.
connection that you want to have.
Exactly. And it also depends on like where you are working, right? So of course, med surge, working in med surge versus working in emergency room, depending on where you are, where you're working, different ways they do things, amount of patients you may have, not able to even ask questions like you really want to. So for me, like I didn't really get that much. Like I did some like, long term, but I for me, and then I did some like also some hospital some like in person doing evaluations, but it's not the same like we do in psychiatry. If that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
It's you get deeper
Yeah,
into
I had time
conversation.
to talk with my patient, so I
Yeah,
like.
it's yeah. So that was one thing I for me, I later realized I was like, why is it I didn't feel like the way I feel now as a provider? I don't
Mhm.
feel that way when I was in nursing. And I realized it was because that connection, that conversation, that getting to know, trying to like it was just it's different in the psych.
So I never asked you. So you're a nurse practitioner in psych, or you do medical?
No, I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner.
So what made
PMHNP.
you decide, like like you weren't like doing mental health before when you were a nurse, but what made you decide to become a psych NP then?
That's a funny thing, right? When I was in nursing school, when we did psychiatry, the last thing I ever thought I would ever be is like, if anybody told me that I would ever do psychiatry, I would tell you, hell to the no, no.
Oh yeah.
Well, probably because that's the last thing. If anybody ever told me I would even work with children, that would be the last thing I would ever tell you. It's so crazy because I feel like it's kind of weird, but I feel like life gave me everything I didn't want.
Uh, God put you where you wanted to be. You were running from. You remind me of that story in the Bible. Who was that? Like God
Jonah,
wanted him to
Jonah,
go.
Jonah,
Huh? What?
Jonah, Jonah with the fish.
Yes, 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 yes.
He
That's
was
what you remind me of. He said,
Yeah,
I'm gonna put
Or
you where you
Joseph,
wanna be and you need to be. Yes,
right? Or
yes.
Joseph, because I feel like I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like when I think about my life, everything, like even relate, like everything, I'm just like, what the fudge? How did I get here? Because it's like I feel like it's like everything I didn't want. I it's like everything I thought I wanted, God gave me. It's so weird, but I got the opposite. And it's so crazy because the opposite is exactly what I'm supposed to be. And I thought I wasn't supposed to have that. But it's even the kind of girl that I have, I thought no. Like I wanted the opposite. Like, but I'm so glad all the things that I thought I should not have is what's best for me. It's the right thing for me. Nurse in psychiatry, when we were in nursing school and we used to do I got an A in psychiatry, but my teacher's serotonin. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Right? I was like, I don't understand. Even when I was doing chemistry, like I used to be like, what the hell is this? I didn't understand. And it's so crazy. Like as I go along, like I actually got all A's in chemistry classes, thankfully, right? But I didn't learn at first. It took me a long time to get it initially in the first class, but later on, I got it. Nursing, the same idea. I thought I would never do, home care. Then I would never do this. I would never. But it's so crazy. Everything that I thought I would not do is exactly what I did. It's crazy, and it taught me a lot of things about myself. And even with like psychiatry, that's why I told you I didn't know I was going to go into psychiatry. These questions I asked myself. I sat down and I started asking myself those questions. What do I really want for my life? I was already a nurse. It was either gonna go. I was like, should I go to medical school or should I go into? I was gonna change career. I wanted to go into like maybe a business. Yeah, I was ready. I was like, whatever I'm gonna do this time. I was like, I just want to like. I'm like, should I do? I was even when I was a nurse. I'm like, should I do consultants? Because I knew like when I was in the when I was in the what do you call this thing the business, right? When I was in insurance nursing, my the people that are upper, they told me, said, don't forget us when you become a CFO. A CFO, sorry, a CNO, Chief Nursing Officer.
Nursing officer. Oh, okay. I see.
That's what they saw in me.
Oh, okay. When you say CFO, I remember like
that's a CEO of nurses.
Okay, yeah.
That was what they saw in me. They said, "Don't forget us." That was what my directors of directors in insurance. That was what she told me. She messaged this to me. She said, "Doyin, don't forget us when you become a CNO." So the thing is that some people will say some things about you, right? They will say some things about you, and I bet you, Miss Carmel, a lot of people have said some things about you. It is about time that we become exactly. Some people will say some negative things, don't get it wrong. But the ones that say positive things, that see something about you, they see a potential in you. There's a reason why they saw those things. And I
just saw something. And I stopped running away from that. That's not my niche. I'm not good at it. That's too much work.
Exactly. Even with what I do now, even when I told you my supervisor was asking me what's next. She was the one asking me doing what's next. That was how I began schooling. My other supervisor, my manager actually, she was the one. She said, Doyin, I don't care what it takes. She said, Doyin, I believe in you, then I believe in myself. I need you to become like this is yeah, I'm telling you, I don't know what they see in me, but I'm grateful to God. Being in the right environment, that job, I loved it. But I just felt like, okay, this is too much work at one point. I can't live like this. You get me? But I still loved it. But I'm just saying, people will see something great about you. Then it got to a point, I'm like, you know what? People keep saying this. I'm like, I think it's about time that I become that too. My old boss, she saw CNO. But God, right? Who knew? I'm now a CEO. She said, don't forget us. I've forgotten her. I got to call her back and tell her. She's no longer at that place now, but I have to find her. But she said, don't forget when you become a CNO. But now I'm a CEO. Yeah. And the thing
you just got the letter messed up a little bit.
No, but it's the same idea. She just like CEO or CNO of nurses. And the thing is like, and everybody has that within them. And people will tell you those things. People will see something potential about you. It's time for us to leave that out. Leave that out. Like leave it out on earth. Because someone saw that. Don't die with the potential. People at the graveyard, they die with the potential. The extinction of humankind has to do with extinction of ideas and not bringing that to fruition. So what I'm trying to say to you, right? So let's, I'm going to go back to the conversation, but literally when you asked me that question, how did I know that I want to become a psychiatrist? How did I know? No, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I just decided to do this. God allowed me. And I'm telling you, this question that I asked of myself, Miss Carmel, this question that I asked of myself, I'm not lying to you. When along my journey, it's crazy, but along my journey, I met some great, profound speakers and ministers and world renowned. One of them is no longer alive, is Miles Monroe. I listened to some things he spoke about. You won't believe it. The questions he asks about how to discover your purpose. I didn't realize that day that was a question I was asking myself. I was asking myself how to discover my purpose for life. Nobody told me those questions but God. I wrote those things down, and that's what I help people discover. I didn't know that's why I tell people when I do my channel, I talk about nobody can teach you how to be you.
Yeah.
Nobody teaches a dog how to be a dog or a cat how to be a cat or a fish how to swim. It's naturally who you are. Those questions, that's why I told you sometimes I open books and I wonder to myself, how the fudge do I know these things? Because I never read this thing in my life. How do I know that information? The things he spoke about, the same exact questions he asked, and I've watched multiple videos of people talking about how to discover your purpose. I didn't realize those questions that I was asking myself are the same questions they were asking. This is how you discover yourself and discover your purpose.
And it's funny. I like to listen to those inspirational quotes, videos, and Instagram. And I wrote down today, like what that person said. He said, "I am not defined by someone else's expectation of me. I give myself grace and room to evolve as I discover who I am." And she said, like, I'm not everyone. I might not be everyone's cup of tea. Okay,
Amen. Mhm.
but I love what I have in my cup. You understand? Like, it's just like he was saying that I will protect my energy. He said, others' opinion about me is none
Yes.
of my business. So she was
Yes.
saying all those things that she's trying to rediscover herself, like everything she's been doing, paying attention to what expectation of other people, try to do things for other people at her own expenses. She's gonna stop doing that. She's gonna help
Hmm.
others, but at the same time, she said that I'm gonna set boundaries to people because she was sacrificing pieces of herself, and she said
Yes.
that by doing that, uh, I can express my love for myself because a lot of
Amen.
times when you sacrifice yourself too much to help others, so what is it about you? So you love that person more than you love yourself? You understand? So
Ah,
why would you be so willing to help somebody at the expense of yourself? So that means you put that person above yourself. No, no, it
exactly.
shouldn't
You can't
be.
do that because when you do that, and I also, and that's something about people that help, right? Unfortunately, a lot of people suffer from this issue. People
Yeah,
that are helping and giving, sometimes you give more of yourself than you're supposed to. And
and
I
it's
realize
exhausting.
it is number one, it's very exhausting. Number two, guess what? You start to resent eventually. You
Oh
complain.
yes, oh yes. You feel like that
Yeah.
person is not giving, not putting as much effort. You feel like that. How is it
Mm.
you only making sacrifices? How is it
Yeah,
like, okay, I don't get what I put in, but you're
exactly.
not always gonna get what you put in, and you should have make sure you save enough for yourself so when you give out, you don't feel like something's lacking in you. You
This is
understand?
very, yes, I understand what you're saying. And this is very important. You got to focus on your inner guide. Not everybody you're meant to overdo. You got to pay attention
Oh yeah,
because
what is in your
sometimes
life?
people think I'm so given, so I give to everybody. No. Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
Set
Sometimes
limits.
because some people they come right there and I don't believe in this whole enemy situation, but literally you have to believe in your inner guide. What is your inner no, I have met people that are literally they came to me and I realized that if I have to go above this area, it's gonna turn to me being angry. I'm gonna be angry for helping you. I'm gonna complain for helping you.
Definitely.
That is no longer helping. You're
No,
not
no.
helping anybody at this point.
Mm.
You have turned something you're supposed to be gifting. You've turned it around into becoming something whereby you're now. It angers you, upsets you. No, you're not good. You're not helping in that
You're
situation.
not a cheerful giver. Now it's gonna hurt
Yeah,
me. And I
yeah,
want to do something to you cheerfully, putting my heart in it. Now my heart is no longer in it. So I'm
you
not
got
doing
it.
something good
And
for you.
that's where once you ever notice that, nah, you gotta you have. That's why we always in psychotherapy they also have boundaries.
Hmm.
Help a little, and that's where you stop. Don't overdo. Because now you're gonna complain to CGEFDHIJK about how this person no, 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 no. I'm a type of person. I give without expectations, help without expectations. I don't need you to give back to me. The world will give back, the life will give back.
Yeah.
Life revolves and gives back to me. But
Hmm.
I don't want to ever, ever, ever keyword. I don't want to ever go ahead and overdo. If you overdo and you step above that, no, you're not giving anymore. You're not a cheerful giver. You're not even a giver. Now you are. I don't. What's the word I'm looking for? Now you're a complainer. You're nasty. I mean, you're
You're a
just nasty.
sucker. You're
You
a
become an ungrateful
sucker.
person. You actually become that ungrateful person because you're not like a giving anymore. Maybe there's a better way. What did you say right now? Go ahead.
Yeah, you're just a sucker.
If you're a sucker, you said.
I said you're just a sucker.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You're not a nice person. You're an arrogant or nasty person. I wouldn't want to say arrogant. You're nasty. That's what it is. You're a sucker. So, and I don't want to be that, right? So I learned that, and so I realized you gotta have once you gotta pay attention to your inner guy. And I have met even in my practice with some people. I'm like, we already at the low. We already at that number, low number. We don't want to go past that. We already did a lot already. So going past that is going to be too much. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm not the one for you. I'm not the one for you. And it's very important. I learned that through the business. I didn't know that before.
Hmm.
Okay. I always knew about no expectations, of course, but I didn't know about that whole given. You don't want to surpass. No, once you do
Yeah.
that, you're going
Even that
against.
no expectation, I don't believe it to be so. Everybody go in, if you're gonna spend your time and the energy of something, everybody have expectation. Even it might be a low expectation, but it's still expectation nonetheless. You understand?
Um,
It might not be to that level, but there's an expectation there. You understand?
well, the thing is, I hear you on that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do
I'm gonna have
understand
an
what you're saying.
expectation that if I'm spending that time, you're gonna actually use it for something. Maybe that
No,
expectation
I'm
is
not.
not.
I'm not like that. I'm not like that. And I understand what you're saying. Because the thing is that what I'm doing is based on what I feel within myself that it's okay, like for me to do. Like me helping you, right? We having a conversation right now, right? I could do all the thing that I do, and you may not use it, and that's all
Yeah,
right.
but your expectation would be that maybe that will change your life. You're doing it for a purpose, a good
Well,
that that will bring some good.
I know what it would do for you, but if you choose not to use it, that's on you. That's not my problem. I've done what my inner guide tells me to do, which is to I'm providing a service right now. I'm providing some kind of value.
Mhm.
If someone doesn't see that value, that's on
That's their
them. And
problem. What should it even be? That's their
I,
problem. That person's
I don't
problem.
because I do know people like that. I do know even right now. And I'm pouring. It's like you want to pour into them, but they don't want to be poured into us. I'm not gonna go. I don't expect you to utilize what I I'm doing this because it fulfills me. It makes me
Mhm.
joyful to do
Mhm.
this to help and bring someone up. I love that. Teaching my students that I teach, it fulfills my being. You I've created things for my students to help them understand medication, to be able to literally understand how I think in my brain. You choose not to use that. That's on your problem. That's not my problem.
Mhm.
So I don't, I've given you information, right? You're my student at this time. So if you don't fulfill that expectation, right? Let's just put it this way. If you don't, technically, let's put it this way. If you don't go ahead and fulfill that, guess what? You're gonna be kicked out. Bye bye. I'm not gonna
Because
play
you're
around.
taking a seat somebody else could be using.
That's what, and they know. Like I'm not charging you for what me teaching you, but be ready to put in the work. And I've told them from the get go. So my expectation, I guess, is to put in the work. But if you don't, you already know what I feel. So the thing is that, but if you don't, right? So when I say expectations, and I know it sounds crazy, but when I say expectations, I'm not expecting you to pour back into me.
Mhm.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't need you because I've taught you now that you must now do something kind for me. No, go. I want you to pay it forward. That's what I really want
Yeah.
you to do. I want you
That's
to
your
pour it to
expectation.
somebody else.
That's
That's
your expectation.
that is my expectation. I
Yeah.
hope, but it seems I can't. I cannot. Keyword. I cannot say, even though it's an expectation, right? No. I would say it's more of a wish,
Mhm.
because expectation would mean that if you don't do it, it can change the way I feel about you. It's a wish of mine. If you don't do it, that's just who you are. Period.
But
That's who you are. But
but
it
if
does not change the way I see about you.
I have a question, but if you were to everybody you talk to, they never push it forward, you never make a difference. You will not find the drive to keep on doing what you do because you wouldn't see
No,
that
no, no.
having an impact.
No, my drive is not dependent on them. So something about purpose is that it's very crazy. Well, something about purpose is very crazy. You're not looking for followers. I'm not looking for followers. I am speaking the truth of what I believe that the spirit guide tells me to do.
Mhm.
So whoever wants to tap into this will tap into it. I don't like I know another, like I'm also like the way I'm doing this with you. I know someone else that's doing similar thing and they have a lot of followers. I don't care about the followers.
I like that. I like that. You know why?
I'm
Let me
Go
tell
ahead.
you why I like it. I like it because, the message is still valid. It doesn't
That's
need validation whether or not you choose to acknowledge it or not. It's still good. Maybe that message wasn't for you. Okay, that person when you will that person that the message resonate with will take it and do something about it.
you got it. The ones that need it will tap into it. And
Hmm.
I bet you I'm not joking with you. The way I speak and the way I am, I people have reached out to me like, yo, Doyin, I thank you because you're real.
Hmm.
I'm not telling you, I'm not selling you. If I want to sell you something, I know how to get that done
Hmm.
and get your money if I want to do it that way. I know how to do that. But whatever I'm giving you, it's of value. I'm not here to just sell them. No, with the amount of time, like right now, you and I have a conversation. If I want the other people that I've mentored, I didn't take a dime from them, and I've been mentoring them even when I was building my practice. So it's so I'm not looking for followers. I'm looking for people that want their life to be changed. There's a difference. Because if I'm looking for
I
followers,
want my
if I'm
life
looking,
to
I
change.
know because if I'm looking for followers, right? Guess what? If I'm looking for followers, that means that I am looking for. I'm marketing. All I'm doing is manipulating you and marketing. That's all I'm doing. I could tell you I'm making $50,000 in one day, and I could do that. That's marketing, but I'm not doing that. So there's a difference. So these people, I'm not expect if I help somebody, it's not about. Unfortunately, I'm not thinking about them. It's kind of crazy, but I'm not thinking about them. I'm thinking about the joy that I feel within myself to do what I do. It's up to you, right? I will tell you what I hope that you will do, which is to pour into somebody else. I have people that I've helped and they have information. And I would say, hey, the way I'm pouring into you, I hope that you know what, if you have something that of it's of value that you want to, I would want you to go ahead. If you like, share with me. But if you don't, I will probably ask
So
you about
that's
it.
uh-huh.
If you don't, I will ask you because I found some people that they have information, and I'm like, oh, I saw
They
you
hold
post.
it. They hold it to
They
themselves.
hold it. And I'm like, I'm gonna tell a person I'm very real. I will go ahead and point you out. I'll be like, oh, so I saw you post that. So what was that about? I will ask
Yeah.
that question.
Yeah.
Right? But if you don't tell me, it's up to you. Now you just showed me your character.
Yeah.
You only showed me, but it does not change the fact of what I would do for you. I will do my best because you know what's funny though? Let me tell you something. The funniest thing is that these people, they are the one that block their own blessings.
Yes, they
You
do.
don't guess what? Because you don't want to guess what? You don't want to tell me things. So guess what? You stay away from me. People that are around me already, because the ones that are open, they will always be around you. So you always pour into them no matter what. The ones that don't want to give, they stay away. So the information you've already given everybody else, they don't tap into it. They only come back when they need to get again. And then you help
Yeah.
them again. When they
Mhm.
stay away. When they have information, they will never show it. They will never tell you. But guess
That's
what?
why greediness do for people because even the Bible teaches you that if you hold on to things, when good things gonna come, you think you go holding on good things, but good things is coming, and then you cannot. You're afraid to drop
You
it.
were nowhere to be found.
Yes, exactly. But if you give, when that great thing comes along, you
You
can
will be there
actually
to receive it.
open up to receive it. Yeah.
Exactly. So I
So
realized,
I always like to give out because of that. I say, "I'll
you
share."
get it,
Like,
right?
it's not mine at the beginning. It wasn't
You
mine.
get it.
Somebody gave it to me, so take it.
You get it. So that's exactly, and that's what that was one revelation that I realized in the beginning. And I realized it's so crazy about people because the ones that don't want to give, they are the ones they actually hurt themselves. They stay away from the givers. They stay away from you because they don't want to pour into you. So guess what? They stay away. But guess what? You, because
Good.
life is very kind, it will
Yes.
pour into you. The way I open my practice, I'm not gonna lie to you. The way I open my practice, it wasn't because I didn't know this Adam and Eve from nowhere. I never would have walked, I don't know them. And they came into my life to help me. And I am now pouring into others that same way. And I'm not trying to, it's not about bragging about myself, but this is really the reality of what happened in my life. I don't know them. And I tell them, I thank you. They're like, what did I do? I didn't even remember. They're like, I didn't even realize these guys were sitting and waiting for me at the restaurant, having a conversation with me. I don't know these people. Telling me what do I need to open a practice? Are they looking for a collaborator for me in New Jersey? Are you kidding me? Like, so you don't know, like, just be kind. That's why I say kindness is very beautiful because God, whatever God saw, I don't know. But the point is, I thank God for I'm here now. So the point is that those people, the ones that were supposed to help me along the way, they didn't help me, and that's okay. Some
Yes.
people really wanted to help me, and they weren't able to because God was like, that's not for you. But I'm give God the glory because I'm here now. So
Amen.
the whole idea, the people that they will trust me, they pull back, they run away, they stay away from you. But guess what? They're the ones blocking their own blessings,
Mm-hmm.
not you.
Don't forget, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.